Hello, I'm Hat, and welcome to All Hat No Cattle, AHNC for short. Yesterday, I promised updates to the Australian Circus School sex scandal as they came in. About 5 hours after posting that video, I came across 3 articles on the case. There is some overlap between them, so I won't be reading every word. Instead, I'll hit the parts that are new. With that said, let's get to it. 4 people accused of circus school abuse named. For the first time, the Daily Telegraph can reveal the names of 4 people who police allege were the central players in a sickening child abuse ring operating in the Blue Mountains. According to court documents, Teresa Ann Cook, 58, Yanni Cook Williams, 29, Clarissa Meredith, 23, and Paul Christopher Cook, 52, kidnapped, assaulted, and filmed the sadistic rape of 3 innocent boys over a number of years, including one victim who was just 3 years old. Magistrate Stephen Corey today decided in favor of 5 media organizations when deciding in Penrith local court to lift the suppression order that had concealed their identities. All were connected to the circus school, which was run by Teresa Cook, and were among 7 arrested on Monday following an extensive investigation by the Child Abuse and Sex Crime Squad. Court documents reveal the investigation allegedly unearthed extremely troubling acts of sexual abuse, with Teresa accused of choking one of the young boys before trying to have sex with him, while on another occasion, blood rituals were allegedly performed on them. The 4 have been charged with 69 offenses ranging from sexual assault to kidnapping and the production of child abuse material. Various media organizations fought for 3 days for the right to publish the names after the quartet's defense lawyer, Brian Wrench, tried to prevent their publication, but on Thursday in Penrith local court, Magistrate Stephen Corey dismissed the application. Police will allege circus boss Teresa Cook was the main instigator of the disgusting sex abuse ring, facilitating and participating in the continued sexual assault and detention of the 3 innocent boys alongside her brother Paul and her daughter Cook Williams. The Daily Telegraph also understands Meredith is Teresa Cook's daughter. All up, police have charged 7 people with 127 offenses in connection to repeated sexual assault and kidnapping of the 3 innocent boys. A 20-year-old woman, a 17-year-old girl, and an 18-year-old man charged in connection with the abuse were themselves children at the time of the offenses. They cannot be named for legal reasons. Circus school shock. 3 boys filmed being raped and assaulted, court papers allege. More sickening allegations have emerged about the alleged sadistic sexual and physical abuse 3 young boys suffered at the hands of a group of Blue Mountains circus performers, including that one of the innocent victims was just 3 years old. Some of the abuse was allegedly filmed by the accused abuse ring, which police say was led by a 58-year-old woman who ran the Blue Mountains Circus School. Documents tendered in Penrith local court yesterday record the ages of one of the boys as only 3 when the abuse began, while the second boy was age 7. The age of the third boy was not specified, but he was reportedly younger than 10. Police allege in the documents that on at least one occasion, the circus school boss choked one of the children before attempting to have sex with him. The rest of the article repeats what you just heard. There's a third article. Woman facing charges relating to alleged child sex assault of boys plan to teach toddlers music. One of the women facing serious charges relating to the alleged sexual assault of 3 boys under the age of 8 was about to start teaching a new toddler's music course. The 29-year-old woman, who cannot be named for legal reasons, leads the early childhood music program at the Joan in Penrith, as well as tutoring individual students. And next week, she was supposed to begin teaching a music course to toddlers, as well as one to youngsters at school from kindergarten to year 2. The woman, the artistic director of the Blue Mountains Circus School, to which all 4 of the people facing charges are connected, already has a job as a music teacher for the Blue Mountains Music Academy. The tutoring company's website calls her a passionate and engaged educator. The woman, who lives in Canterbury, also dabbles in burlesque and performed at the Sydney Fringe Festival and Chippendale's Knox Street Bar. Her online posts include pictures showing her wearing extravagant and risque outfits on the stage. I'll make a comment here. That's a bit of muddying the waters. Just because she's performed in burlesque doesn't mean she's a bad person. I have a niece who has done burlesque as part of just trying new things. It doesn't automatically impugn her character. To continue. But in a Facebook post from the start of this year, she reflected on what she called the worst days of 2017. Lots of up and downs this year. I did a bunch of stuff I'd wanted to do for a long time. My first solo cabaret, my first time performing burlesque, she wrote. But this year has also included some of the worst, most challenging days of my life. Ready for 2018 now. According to neighbors, the woman lived alone in her apartment and kept to herself. She sung a lot, but I never saw her, one said. There you have it. I didn't expect there to be new developments so soon, but I guess it's better to have that than the first article sitting alone for weeks without any further news. As before, I'll continue to post new videos as this case moves along. I want to end this with a caveat. There is a mention of drinking one's own blood, and that reminds me of a famous case involving the abuse of young children way back in the 1980s, the McMartin preschool trial. The case revolved around allegations of things ranging from sex acts against the children to involving them in Satan worship rituals. One child said the staff once made them watch a classroom pet sacrificed. I've linked in the description to a wiki article on the case, but much more can be found with a simple internet search. At the time, the case was the most expensive investigation and criminal trial in U.S. history, later eclipsed by the O.J. fiasco. Parenthetically, is it worth noting that both occurred in California? At the McMartin trial's resolution, all defendants were found not guilty, but their lives had been ruined by then, so it was the very definition of a Pyrrhic victory. Investigation into the case later on revealed a startling discovery. During their interviews, the children had been plainly and obviously coached by the interviewers. Their imaginations were allowed to run wild, and the stories they made up were taken at face value. I think we should keep this event in the back of our minds. Personally, I'm inclined to believe at least some of the charges in the Blue Mountains case because it seems there is physical evidence, including media of the actual sex acts performed on the children, that are in the court filings to date. I'll stop here. Until next time, be well, and as always, thank you for your attention.